Getting my audio? Okay, great. And we're live. Alright, yo, what's going on, guys? Okay, so today I'm just gonna go through a quick. I don't know if it's gonna be quick, but it's gonna be something where I go through just the entire market essentially, and I kind of make my own analysis on each one. So I'm gonna in the comments below I'm gonna put like timestamps so you don't have to look at every stock if you don't want to. This is for myself for the most part, but I think it'll help you guys as well if that's something you're interested in looking at. So, that's fine with me. So let me just go ahead and start that. Maybe I don't know. Is there a way for me to maybe put it in the comments for each time that I'm talking about it? I don't know. I'll come up with a way to tag timelines a little bit better at some point in the future. For the time being, I'm just gonna do it based on, what my thing is telling me. So, like based on my stream, the stream times and stuff like that. So we're about a minute in, so it'll give me about everything within that time. Let me just get there. Okay, so firstly, what's important to know? Damn, the market's coming down a lot right now. First, what's important to know is that the S&P 500 is coming down due to quite a few things. So, for example, one of the big things was the Wuhan virus was detected in the UK. We saw our first human-to-human transition of the virus itself. That's kind of a big deal. One thing I find interesting is that I said this some time ago before this happened, and now we're coming down. So from that point of view, to me, I actually made a play accordingly. I'm selling credit spreads at 321 and 320. And if they expire, so if it expires between the two, then I'll make some money on that because I'm selling the calls. So I'm basically selling calls against this. So actually, I bought it like a little bit ago. The 320s. I bought the 320. Let me get this right. I bought the 320s. God damn it. No, I'm sorry. I bought the cheaper one. So I bought the 320s and I sold the 321. Reverse that. I bought the 321s. I sold the 320s, and as a result, I'll put up just to be sure. Just for my own well-being mentally, I guess. I bought the 321s. I sold the 320s. So as that spread starts to decrease, I start to make money on it. So I'm already up like 1.5% on it, which is pretty good. What's coming down right now? Oh fuck. That's so bad. Okay. So another big thing that's really really bad right now. Fuck. Jesus Christ. We're in a new low. Okay, so this is like a Wuhan coronavirus zone essentially. We're in the low parts of it. The first case of the coronavirus in Queens. Yeah. So this is interesting. We're coming down now. See what these credit spreads hold up. My credit spreads will start making money. It's already making money now. Maybe I should buy more. Now that I think about it, it didn't cost me much. The risk is 30. The return is like 60. That's actually so that's a very good position. I should consider sizing up. So I can make about $70, and I'm risking about $30 for those positions. I bought in the monies, credit spreads. I'll show you. So, SPY. All right, I'm trading February 10th. So this is the one that I got. I bought. So this is the call. So I'm selling the more expensive one. I'm selling this one. I'm selling this one and I'm buying this one. If this one goes to 0, I make the entire difference. So I got them when the difference was kind of high, which is about $78. And when it goes down, it'll I'll make some money off that. So that's useful. I'll get into that play later though. For the time being, I think that we're gonna probably take support. I don't think we're gonna fall right through 320 right away. I think we're probably gonna take support at this line because it's kind of still important as far as like technicals go. The volume on this drop right now that's going on right now is very big. I'm in McDonald's. Let me just see what's going on with that. Yeah, McDonald's is kind of holding. The thing needs to go down. I'm doing the same type of credit spread selling for McDonald's. But now I'm just going to go through the whole charts. I'm going to talk about what the general trend I think is. So I think that based on this information, based on this, the daily, I see that it's probably going to come down. It's going to bounce, then it's going to keep going down for a bit longer. Where do I see it going? I think 315 is a pretty good support. I mean, 320 is a very good support for now. Let me get that, and then let me do another one at 315. Come on. There we go. So these are my two levels I think that are gonna kind of hold together. I think it's gonna hit this, bounce off, come back down lower. So if that happens, and if that can fall out into February 10th, I'll make $80 on it, or 100% of my investment, or what is it? 200% of my collateral. 200% of my collateral. So that's kind of how I'm playing this. But on the weekly, this looks like it could turn around unless it continues to develop further down, which would mean today it would have to close at 320 before you see a full out reversal. This does look like it could reverse. It also looks like it could totally just tank. Weekly has not. So whenever you see this type of thing, you usually see it reverse around. This is like a morning star or whatever. I don't really pay attention to that. I just know what I'm looking at usually. So that's that one. This video's already really long. So that's SPY. Trying to keep this shorter, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So let me go through the banks. So the banks reported. I'll break it into different bits actually. So this one will cover. I don't know. Banks. Fucking hell. Okay. So as far as banks go, this is still the weekly. So the weekly shows, a fairly strong downward trend that's developing. This happened because of earnings. As far as the daily goes, we're starting to break into that trend. So let me try and write that down. I forgot to do that. 708 JP Morgan. Okay. So it's starting to break into this kind of downward trend. It did break below this SMA, so I think that we could see it start coming down quite a bit, depending on how today holds. It's holding at 132 right now, which is a level. If it does not hold this level, then you can start seeing it come down quite a bit. So this is something that it does need to hold in order for this trend to not start breaking downwards, but we'll have to wait and see. The very fact that it's already testing it right now, this actually kind of looks like a really good short play. But for the time being, I'm just going to keep going through this analysis. So I think I've been talking about JP Morgan going down. The same thing is going on with Bank of America. Let me see if I can make this quicker. Sorry, I'm just writing down when I start it. BAC. Okay. Bank of America also downward trend. There's no supports being taken, but this is a supporting level, and you gotta understand the price levels aren't technical. They're just logical places where people would be willing to buy or spend money, on stock. So here at this case, this is an important level. How much are people willing to pay for Bank of America? $32. That seems to be a floor for this right now. So we'll see whether or not that holds. Bank of America, and so that's fine. So I have 3 different lists, and I don't want this singular video to be 20 minutes long. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut these short into bits. So I think that's a good idea. And then we got Lockheed Martin. I should probably organize my things into a sector by sector thing, but I'll do that maybe later. This is still just my watch list. So as far as Lockheed Martin goes, I think defense has been going up after the threat of the trade war. I don't really have too much to say about it. I think it can probably hold these values that it's taking, these prices. Daily looks okay. This wicking is not my favorite. I could see a turnaround actually. This is the all-time highs for this stock. So we'll see. I think it could keep going just like Apple's been going, but there's not too much for me to say about this. There is a trend line I can draw though. which I'll do that. So it's kind of a trend line. But actually maybe anticipate something to turn on it. I mean, if the whole market comes around, then this is going to be a working channel. I don't necessarily think this is ideal right now, but it could work. Maybe it'll come down, actually. I need this to develop a little further before I can actually give anything. So then I was talking about Alta for these last few days. I wanted to take the upward trends, and I still want to take the upward trends on it, but I do think it's going to have to come down. There's a huge fucking gap fill, and I'm just kind of waiting on that. I keep forgetting to log the times. 10, 20, Ulta. Alright, cool. So I think it's going to go upwards. Let me see these levels. I keep saying, it's kind of annoying. God damn it, I did it again. Okay, so watch for these, again, dude? Just shut up. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, fuck. It is so hard to stop saying once you start saying So what I'll do right here is I will remove that, I'll properly draw this line. So I think this is a proper support for this stock. Let me see what's going on. So the coronavirus case that's happening in New York is not necessarily confirmed, but it is still causing the market to react maliciously, badly. It's having mal effects on the market. So that's important. I think that Ulta will break into this level. It'll break up to the, it's got a long way to go, actually, 317. So it could break it and fill the gap. Most of these gaps are filled. They have not had earnings. They had earnings recently, and I guess they did beat it. I remember now. It didn't get them out of the trend, but it was good. So that's one. So I think I am going to start setting up positions on Ulta. I want to see where that develops, but yeah, that's where I am for Ulta. Next up, INTC. God, again? I can't stop saying that word. It's not even a word. Okay, so as far as this is concerned, I think INTC is kind of bearish now. It's starting to break into this trend. It's got to take support here. And so if we go and look at it, so this price level here hit all-time highs and it came back down. I really hope Cameron got out of this position because he was, I don't know, he was up a lot on it, but it's not doing so hot anymore. Do I remember what he got? That's in another video. I'll go over that later. And I think that, I don't know, it'll have to take support. I think on Monday it probably will take support, but the downtrend looks like it'll probably kind of fill that, unless it takes support at the 63. But it'll probably hit 63.45 before it actually continues on an uptrend. So that is probably my thinking for INTC. So now we're moving on to the TLT. So the TLT is more of a position that you take for like betting against the market, essentially. So this in gold, if the market, holy shit. What is my position? Actually, sorry, I forgot to check this. It's been a kind of a busy day. And I don't see my position. No, it's here. And I'm down 350 on it. It's pretty interesting. It's holding it very well, actually. I think it hit 153 by that time. The way gold trades, I really like it. If it hits in the money, not on that date because this is today's expiry, but let me try these. So for example, if it can get it 1 week out or that week of, it'll hit like $1, and I paid like $30 for it. So it'll make me like $70 on that, and I really like that. So yeah, I just did INTC. I forgot to write it down, and then I'll do. This is the TLT / gold. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep track of everything because it's these are long videos. Let's say, okay, so I think that if the market keeps coming down the way that it does, I think that we can anticipate that the TLT and stuff will also start coming up. So a lot of people are trading those right now. They're getting into those because they're good. They're good shorts, essentially. They react very well to how the S&P 500 moves. So that is something to keep in mind when you're going into all this. Man, I have way too many stocks, Jesus. All right, next we're moving on to the VIX. So the volatility index, what time is it right now? 50. All right, to the VIX. Now, VIX. Okay, so what to know about the VIX is it's kind of just an indicator for how the volatility is behaving in this current market. The volatility is going up really hard right now, which means we're gonna probably see a fairly strong spike in that happen. And so I can actually explain that. So back, when is this? August 5th, right? If we go back and look at SPY around August 5th, you'll probably see, it might not be SPY. SPY might not have done anything around that time, but you'll usually see a really big dip off. So right around here, we see this pretty big drop. So yeah, it seems like we're getting that, and we're getting that now with the VIX. So I'm really actually thinking strongly about the fact that this SPY position is going to close. One of my friends got this position that did not work at all. He tried to get spreads, but he didn't get enough time on them. So they basically just completely are about to expire. So what I did was I fixed it a little by basically turning them into credit spreads. But whether or not they hold up around that time is kind of important, because if SPY can't stay above that point, then he's gonna not take the profits from it. Okay, next we're moving on to Shop. So Shopify has been kind of on an uptrend forever, and it's back again. It kind of pulled down and then came back up. It follows, to me, it looks a lot like SPY, apart from these. Now it's not following it similarly. Let's look at the weekly. The weekly looks pretty strong still. It is getting rejected by 482 level, but it's still holding. I don't see any downward behavior from it right now, but if it does break past like 470, that's when it's kind of a problem. And it actually already has done that. So let me see, what level is this? What is it? 460? Yeah, 460. What's the current price of this stock? 467. So if it breaks down 460, then you could start seeing a reversal. But until then, I think it'll probably hold this uptrend. Shopify is a good growing source. E-commerce is kind of a big deal. I am gonna actually take, I think, longer positions, leaps into this stock. But yeah, I think that is all I'll do for this one. I'm gonna change the name of this video to Part 1. And then I will leave it there, and then I'll do another one that covers the second half of the list. Thanks for watching, guys, and me. I'll see you guys next time.